Radio Democracy, on news, views, and entertainment. Radio Democracy, Radio Democracy, Radio Democracy, on news, views, and entertainment.
Radio Democracy 98.1. We believe in no political party.
Radio Democracy, the true voice of the people.
Salon, good morning Freetong, and good morning to all we listeners that were tuning from different parts of the country and outside Salon, live from the New England Village Studios. And welcome to another edition of the program Good Morning Salon for this week, where they come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. Today, now Tuesday, August 4th, 2026, we're glad for bringing this edition come to you as we will bring counsel on this edition from Bull. I am Jaffa Mans Davis.
And Musa Kamara Naminim, good morning. We thought of the day say your future is built by the choices you make today. We mean say what you decide for do today go determine how your life could be tomorrow. We mean point them inside this edition of the program Good Morning Saloon. President Julius Maada Bio don call on leader them na Africa for work as one for make Africa get global representation na the United Nations Security Council and the international financial system. According to the chairperson at the University of Saloon Teaching Hospital Complex, Dr. Sonia Spencer, from 2019 to now, the institution don train 150 specialist doctors them for do different surgery them. And today inside the program, we go talk to the Director General National Disaster Management Agency, John Van de Rogers, and the Head of Communications Office of the Sierra Leone Meteorological Agency, Success Ibrahim Said Kamara Esquire. We said we go talk about the measures them we don't put in place for tap disaster not for happen during this rainy season. And also we go talk to one private legal practitioner, Suleiman Banja Tijansi. We go talk about the constitutional amendment bill within our parliament.
And remember, say you still listen to we live on www.radiodemocracy.sl and from we partner radio station them.
You dey listen me live from Radio Democracy 98.1 FM na Freetong, Radio Shalom 89.5 na Koinadugu and Falabar District, Radio Malen 88.5, Radio 1J 101.3 na Pujon District, Radio Kolente 90.0 na Cambia, Radio Moi 105.5 na Kailau, Vopad Radio na Watalo, Voice of Sando on 95.7 na Kono District, Voice of Karine na Kamakwe on 98.0, Voice of Masoro na Pujon District, Advocacy Radio na Potloko District, Radio Katbami on 106.7 na Tonko Limba, Art FM on 95.9 na Moyamba District, and Tongo Radio on 107.5 FM.
The program Good Morning Salon, they continue and fumble. Remember, say you where they listen to it from wherever they get it from. Remember, say cable for be part of this edition by where I go use the number 077-981-981. The number again now 077-981-981, where you can use for send text message to normal message them and save on WhatsApp. You can also join the conversation at Radio Democracy Facebook and YouTube platform. Also, you can get the opportunity for use the comment section for add the voice to the different team them we will look at inside this edition, ask questions and be part of the program where they come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM.
We start to look at issues. We go say the president for the Saloon Football Association, Babadi Kamara, don't deny rumor. They go around say the FA spent $3 million for buy 15-story building for the head office. He denied this allegation inside one update where he be the give to the public, but in 1 year in office as president for the Saloon Football Association. For more on this, we join Jaffa Mans Davis.
Today is not simply about celebration, it is about commitment and collective efforts and what they have delivered in our football. 1 year is a milestone and not destination. The work of
That's the voice of the General Secretary of the Salon Football Association, Mohammed Bensimbao, where they talk about the meaning of the 1 year achievement for this new executive and the vision for doing more pan football and Salon. This statement came for Sekaway the Football Association engage the media for updates the public, but waiting and know they do for impact football business in the country. And during this engagement, the president Babadi Kamara been start first for explain about how they're not able to manage the association in couple for invest more and clear all the debts them with the effort for organize the national competition them, train more coach and referee them, plus the 435-seater pavilion project where they carry on now. With this, they can respond to public concern about Leon Stars coach salary with the 5-story building where the FA don't buy now.
And let me also say this, the salary for the entire technical team that are on salary, 4 of them, everything is $20,500. Now, the cost of the building itself is $2.8 million. Out of this 2.8, FIFA is paying 2.6, CAF is paying $200,000. The registration fee for that building would have been $280,000. So $280,000 we could say is the contribution of the government towards the purchase of that building. We are going to modernize it.
With this statement, the next part of Babadi Kamara in talking at this engagement be focused on the association in vision for the next year, and this make it say
our first year was about laying a solid foundation. Our second year will be about building upon that foundation with greater ambition. Over the next year, revenue mobilization will become one of our strongest areas of focus. We have already laid the foundation through strategic partnership and sponsorship. Our merchandising program is being developed. Our vision is to create new artificial pitches constructed at Parade, Waterloo, Lunge, Maburuka, Moyamba, and to refurbish Makeni and Connaught pitches respectively.
but waiting at the FA plan for the different football regulation and football statutes them.
During the coming year, we will complete and implement the Sierra Leone Football Association governance regulation. We will continue updating our competition regulations, including the FA Cup regulations, so that every club, player, official, and administrator clearly understands the rules that govern our game, and most importantly, we will push through a new statute, new electoral code, and new standing orders of Congress, and new statutes for all regional football associations and district football associations.
Like plenty people know this BN term, the country don't get Boku Football Academy them, and this now one way the new executive, according to the president, will begin pay more attention to. And Seth, look inside the kind people them, where they coach now the different national league them.
We have many organizations operating as football academies, but are mostly without clear standards or proper structures. Our objective is not to discourage anyone, rather our objective is to support, organize, and strengthen them. We will introduce a structured system that categorizes academies according to agreed standards covering coaching, player welfare, safeguarding, governance, and facilities. Another major priority for the coming year is the full expansion of the SLAFA Connect system. We are currently registering all the coaches on the system. For the 2026 and 2027 league season, any coach that is not registered on the system will not coach in our leagues, from Division 2 to the Premier League for both genders.
Journalists then at this conference say this update from the FA showed transparency and accountability for football business in the country, but say then concern where the FA not talk nothing but then plan for regulate community football. And Seth, the update where they're not able for give but the different legal issue then where they be the deal with before this term, so that this new executive not go get court order for lock the SLFA office. Where the democracy will continue for updates the public, but the different thing them where they happen for football development in the country. For the society for where the democracy, Jaffa Mans Davis, they report. Well, from that report today, the program, Good Morning Salon, they continue, and inside the program, we'll continue for look at more issues. We go according to the chairperson, now the University of Salon Teaching Hospital Complex, Dr. Sonia Spencer. From 2019 to now, the institution 150 specialist doctor them na the county. Dr. Sonia Spencer talked this for our interview where even they talk about the challenge and success them with the institution don't make inside the past 10 years as Salone. We report Kaifa to Conte. Get more and go now report.
Salone begin for train doctor them na the country where the University of Salone through the College of Medicine and Allied Health Sciences Commerce inside 1988. This institution been just a trained medical officer them. But one challenge where the country where they get na that where doctor them want for specialize pass and go study in another country them. This carry on till 2016 where government be established the University of Salone Teaching Hospital Complex for trained specialist doctor them.
When we come on board July 23rd, 2019, we meet 15 doctors there. We call them the pioneer, now they start the training program. But some of the departments then where them in the train, then get what we call accreditation, when are the authority for let them train. Then they come to an end and so on. So we don't take that number from 15, then we don't get over 150 doctors and really train.
You will listen to the chairperson for the University of Salone Teaching Hospital Complex, Dr. Sonia Spencer. From 2019 to now, they don't train 150 specialist doctors in the country. Dr. Sonia Spencer continue for talk about the different specialists training them when they get to well body workman in the country.
In psychiatry, then they train in anesthesiology, then they train in surgery, then they train in O&G, obstetrics and gynecology, then they train in pediatrics, then they train in internal medicine, then they train in family medicine. And now we don't add radiology, we get for do with the X-ray, CT scan, we don't get community health. So now we talk about 9 departments with the doctor at the train.
But by all Lengenia for over 10 years now, where the University of Salone Teaching Hospital Complex done they do one big challenge. Now funding for trained doctor them for specialized na different area them. The chief medical director at the University of Salone Teaching Hospital Complex, Professor Kainde Oluwadia, talk more about this.
We are severely underfunded, and as such, we cannot really do even when it comes to the training we are talking about. Because of the underfunding from the government, we are not able to do that. For example, training of residents, accreditation of specialties, and co. We can no longer fund this, and basically, we have to rely on the Ministry of Health to do that for us. But the ideal thing is for all these things to be part of our budgets, and then we'll be able to do that.
For second challenger from the institution, make a talk to the Deputy Chief Medical Officer Clinical Services, now the Ministry of Health, Dr. Mustafa Kaba, and at this immigrants for say.
We as a ministry, we don't need to talk to partners and goodwill people for come for support the ministry, and so that we will support the teaching hospital so that then we will stand and provide, for do the function for which they were established. So if you look at currently, the teaching hospital, one of the responsibilities now for conduct accreditation for many units them and departments that will get the authority for trained doctors at a specialist level. So that means people that they come from overseas, Nigeria, Ghana, they can help with and watch it for everything we take for training. And that cost is there, it will be taken care of.
The Kisi Psychiatric Teaching Hospital, now 1.6 hospital under the University of Salone Teaching Hospital. But inside the last 10 years, plenty change will happen at this hospital, where according to the Director for Mental Health and Non-Communicable Disease in the Ministry of Health, Dr. Abdul Jallo say, this don't make public confidence, don't therefore make people take them patients na the psychiatric home with big hope for making well.
Before the hospital not be like prison, like dumping ground where people will just go dump family members there, say, unaka keep an eye. So now from that, in fact, 9 of them come on say Kisi mental home. So there are a lot of issues where they have been at the hospital. One the patient there, the chain there, will not be against the human rights, so that we'll be able to publish in 2018 top chaining of patients. So from 2018 to date, no patient know the chain again another kissing. The second one is even if they sleep, they be well damaged, water not be there, no functional toilet system, even the windows are broken, the infrastructure be damaged. Even that's also not a big risk for the patient, but that all don't change.
Plenty time where people can get bad accidents them, where can lead to trauma. Salon no been get doctor them for treat them people here, where can make the next thing now for caregiving in other country or they end up die. But this according to the chairperson for the University of Salon Teaching Hospital Complex, Dr. Sonia Spencer say, through the teaching hospital, this don't change.
The people that really support we, they don't train one doctor we already have been orthopedic surgeon, bone doctor. So now we don't go do trauma. So now he able for example, the accident case or person for them from tick, you for them up from you scandal, you bang your head or waiting ever. Now he able for do the operation then okay, before it's not possible. Then go patch the person so till the person die.
But waiting at the way forward for this institution, the Deputy Chief Medical Officer Clinical Services at the Ministry of Health, Dr. Mustafa Kaba, he explained.
The plan is now for make them execute their function properly for which they are created. We empower them in what we're able to do for empower them, and we create the strong collaboration between the teaching hospital and the Ministry of Health leadership for make really focus and train and get the best quality doctors trained, as well as create the systems that will show that we get good quality services in our teaching hospitals and over and beyond in our health facilities.
Dr. Mustafa Kaba end up say the Ministry of Health will continue for work with the University of Salon Teaching Hospital Complex for CCA, then train more specialist doctors than the country. For Radio Democracy, Mia Khalifa to counter the reports.
Well, from that report today, we still expect to be joined in our studio by we studio guest them, the Director General National Disaster Management Agency and the Director of Communications, Salon Meteorology, and also a private legal practitioner, Banja Tijansi, for joining we now the program for discuss about the current weather condition, the rain and disaster prevention during this heavy rain, and also the constitutional amendment. The program Good Morning Salon, we continue for look at more issues. We take Kwampa with headline stories. And we say the President Julius Maada Bio don't call on leader them now Africa for continue for talk for make Africa get representation at the Global United Nations Security Council and the International Financial System. President Bio make this call inside one bilateral meeting we he get with the President of Gabon, na State House. For more on this, we join Kabiam.
Salon in Gabon don't begin one new chapter na the diplomatic relationship as the President of Gabon, His Excellency Brice Oligui can work in a Salon for one 2-day official state visit. This visit now one way the two presidents then believe say go get strength to cooperation, increase trade and investment, and create new opportunity for economic development between the two countries. During into the waka, the Gabonese president met with President Julius Maada Bio na State House, also then talk on area them where go benefit the two countries them. President Julius Maada Bio been talk more on this.
Freetown and Libreville, as you know, share a unique historic connection. Both cities were founded as symbols of freedom and hope, reflecting our common values of liberty, dignity, and African resilience. Therefore, your visit provides an important opportunity to open a more ambitious chapter in our relations between our two countries. But first, let me congratulate you on your election as president and commend Gabon's peaceful return to constitutional governance. Your leadership in maintaining stability and peace, advancing institutional renewal during significant national transition deserves recognition, and I commend it.
The president been talk about some pan the key area them where he say Salone ready for work with Gabon.
Sierra Leone welcomes Gabonese investment in agriculture, mining, fisheries, energy, infrastructure, tourism, and logistics. We should equally encourage Sierra Leonean businesses to explore opportunities in Gabon. We should undertake reciprocal trade and investment missions and promote commercially viable partnerships between our private sector operators. We should also explore practical measures to improve air connectivity, facilitate travel, and reduce the barriers affecting trade, tourism, and people-to-people exchanges between our two countries.
Maritime security, cyber threats, now some of the area them where the president say the two countries they for work on.
Sierra Leone and Gabon share an interest in maintaining peace and security across the Gulf of Guinea and the wider Atlantic region. We should strengthen our maritime surveillance, intelligence sharing, and cooperation against trafficking, organized crime, cyber threats, and illegal fishing. Closer engagements between our securities will contribute to regional stability and help to protect the economic interests of both countries. Sierra Leone and Gabon should coordinate more closely within the African Union, the United Nations.
Africa representation at the Security Council. Now one important area where President Bill say the two countries they for work on.
We should continue to advocate for stronger African representation in global governance institutions, including the reform of the United Nations Security Council and the international financial architecture. Africa's challenges require stronger African leadership, solidarity, and solutions shaped by the realities of our continent. I believe that our discussions must lead to practical action. So I want to propose the following. I want to ask for the establishment of the Sierra Leone-Gabon Joint Communique for Cooperation. I want us to launch a structured cooperation in natural resources, agriculture, and maritime security. Mandate our foreign ministries to prepare a time-bound implementation roadmap.
Where in the talk, the Gabonese president, His Excellency Brice Clotaire Oligui, before still thank you to President Julius Maada Bio, the government and the people of Salone for the kind welcome with Ngiam and in delegation. As in say, Gabon value the friendship with Salone and remain committed for expand cooperation on trade, investment, agriculture, environmental protection, education and youth empowerment. In same way so say, African development depend on strong partnership among African countries them we make in call on government, investor and the private sector for make use of the opportunity where they under the African Continental Free Trade Area for Radio Democracy. Kabia the report.
The program, Good Morning Salone, it come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. Fambu, members you can join the social media conversation now to with Facebook and YouTube page and use the comment section for the voice that then platform then. We continue for look at another issue. We go inside the Minister of Communication, Technology and Innovation, Salima Ba, say part of the commitment for improved telecommunication at the country now for make them install fiber network now 14 districts them at the country. He talked this power meeting with development partner them who side and go celebrate the National Communication Authority, then 20 years of service delivery in a Salone with the theme 20 years of consumer-focused connectivity. Well, for more on this, make we join with reporter Alhaji Jallo as he gonna report.
The National Communication Authority, NATCA, na body we don dey work tranga one for improved telecommunication na the country and self-promote universal access to communication service across Salone, promote cyber security. By the way, how they help for tap cyber crime them na the country. With this them work what they don dey do over the past year them for promote fair competition and investment na the communication sector. Make this body they celebrate 20 years of existence of service delivery to Salone people with the theme 20 years of consumer focused connectivity. Where in the talk, the acting chairman of the National Communication Authority, Paul Squire, say workman and NATCA for work tranga one for make Salone people benefit party them where they bring development in the country.
NATCA as a body must take upon itself and continue to provide such effective and efficient regulation so as to meet with the targeted developments that are meeting, so as to bridge the digital gap and ensure that every Cameroonian benefits from the opportunities of this digital age. As we mark 20, our achievements are plenty. Let us renew our commitment to excellence, integrity, innovation, and services.
We in the talk, the Director General of the National Communication Authority, Amara Briwa, talk about some of the achievements them what they don't do for improved connectivity na Salone.
Today, the sector comprises 4 mobile networks operators, 1 mobile virtual operator, 32 internet service providers, 21 licensed television stations, 222 FM stations, 3 open access infrastructure operators. Cellular population coverage has reached 97.4%. We have advanced mobile money interoperability, strengthened subscriber identity security through need SIM integration, harmonized short codes, supported regional roaming arrangements with neighboring ECOWAS countries.
As the Ministry of Communication, Technology and Innovation are the body where they provide policy direction and oversight to the National Communication Authority, where this make the Minister of Communication, Technology and Innovation, Salim Abba, talk about waiting the ministry don't they do for improved telecommunication na Salone.
We have a coverage of 96% population coverage. That means that in large parts of Sierra Leone, you can have access to mobile service. I think it is important to acknowledge how far we've come with that. The fact that our fiber backbone is now in 14 out of the 16 districts of Sierra Leone. Currently, population coverage is at 90%, but usage is still at 42%. That means that even though network access has expanded to over 97 or 90% of the population, only 42% of the population are actually using the internet.
Salim Abba end up promise Salone people say, then they work Tranga one with mobile network provider them for make sure say people wait up na hard to reach community them able to get access to mobile network communication. For the Society for Radio Democracy, me na Alaji Jalo, they report.
Well, from that report today, we go to court to say the prosecution witness by Admire Bio in alleged fraud case. Ibrahim Cissé say now money some sojaman and police officer them being take from one Italian businessman, but not been seen and take gold. He make this testimony before magistrates Mustafa Brahmaja Napademba Road Magistrate Court number 1 inside the Admabio alleged gold fraud matter. For more on this, make we join Fatun Yangi Jigbagba.
The magistrate court still continue for looking inside Admabio Jallo and Iman Dauda Jallo the alleged fraud matter. Who said they face 11 counts charge of conspiracy to defraud, conspiracy to rob, and other charge them. The prosecution be alleged say then defendants have been joined in fraud Italian businessman them Fanny Giuseppe and Alfio Siracusa with copper over $200,000. And then talk say then get company we name Gan Mineral Salon we genuine and get license as salon for sell gold. The prosecution be same way alleged say then 2 people have been joined with other people where police not sabi and rob the complainant with 3 kilograms of gold we value over $200,000 na Milton Magai College Drive, Godrich. The prosecution don't come with a court but 2 witness them for talk on this matter. The lead defense lawyer Nicole Wilson been asked question them to one witness Fanny Giuseppe when an Italian businessman and he be the answer them question after we the court interpreter Victor Massey be the interpret them question The defense lawyer been asked the complainant what he been do after we the alleged robbery don't happen in Milton Magai College Drive, Godrich. The complainant response say he been call the Italian consul, but he found out say he been don't travel come on the country. And he say after we not able to get the Italian consul, he been same way call the former Northern Residence Minister Abu Abdullah Koroma and he called Admire Bio and the former Lebanese manager for Laguna restaurant. And according to the complainant, all them 3 people here were in call. They been come at the scene. They not even ask for direction. This matter been come back na court Monday, August 3rd. Outside the second prosecution witness, Ibrahim Cisse, when a driver to this Italian man, been in a court for talk wetin happened that day. During the cross-examination, he been talk say, before he begin work as driver to this Italian man, one in Paddy Abdullahi Bar, been tell him for begin drive the Italian man, and he receive phone call from the person when for begin drive. And according to him, when he reach, he meet with one man we named Budi, when the former Lebanese manager for Laguna Hotel. And according to him, the Budi man been give him instruction say if for drive the 2 Italian man them na mile 13. And according to this witness, they been go reach mile 13 and try back for return free turn. When they reach na Milton Magai College Junction, this Italian man na the complainant tell him say for go is in place na Godrich and that in one for go na Laguna Hotel again. When them be the go na in place, they meet people na road we wear soldier uniform, OSD uniform, and some be get empty clothes. Them people here, according to the witness, been break them, and then be take but plenty couple when a 20 leons note inside the complainant in pouch. And according to him, not only that in see, the policeman then take inside the pouch, and in say, after where this don't happen, Budi later come meet them at the scene, and they all be drive gonna Adonkia police station and go make statements. After this testimony, Magistrate Mustafa Brahmaja been adjourned this matter to August 6 this year for continue for looking inside more, and the bail when be give the defendants them still a continue. For Radio Democracy, Mina Fatu Nyangi Bakpa.
The program Good Morning Salon, they continue. From that report today, they continue for look at another issue. This time, we go outside the Chief Executive Officer at QCell Salon, Jayamani Katik, say the reason we make QCell decide for launch a new code way na 035. Now because them cannot say but people don't join QCell. Jayamani Katik talk this way QCell go launch the new mobile code way na 035 for the customer them across Salon. Well, for more on this, make we join with reporter Alfred Jana.
QCell Salon na one pan salon leading mobile telecommunication company where they provide mobile network and services na salon, and na the only African owned mobile network operator where they offer voice calls, SMS services, mobile data, bundle, and other service them as a way for provide reliable and affordable network na salon. Make QCell officially launch new mobile code when na 035.
From the Kobo Martin, Kalamba, Kamaru, moving as far as Kamakwe. Today we are tapping to the next after Kamakwe, which is Tamaka. There is another new entry point we have to give. How QCell has positioned itself if we are to also. As of digitalization in the 035, it's clear. We had it on the CEO. So with the 035 now, once you onboard yourself, the first thing there with the associated app, upon the first recharge as well in terms of promo, you will be able to enjoy 50%. You will be able to enjoy 50% bonus upon the very first recharge. And then guess what? When you're thinking of digitalization, QCell has brought out the mobile app. So with that mobile app, for it to be active, you have to own a QCell number. So once you download and then you enter a QCell number, even if the QCell number is 035, as of today, you will be able to receive 1 GB free.
You just listen to the head of marketing QCell Salon, Edward Nelson Pratt. They explain but how QCell don't expand the network to different parts of the country as a way for explain but the Passmark mobile scamming we don't the happen na Salon we in Kampa mobile network. Make head of Q Morning Salon Gabriel Mendy explain.
We want to grow, we want to make sure our customers feel secure. We want to make sure that we operate as a full bank, because wallet is like a bank. People have to trust your mobile money wallet. People have to trust the number that you are using to send and receive money as well. So in that case, we are very much careful. Of course, we know what is happening in industry. Every day we are talking to our agents, our food soldiers, our staff to be more vigilant. You always will have fraudsters that will try to, that will always happen. But it depends on how careful are we, what security measures are we putting in place to make sure that we prevent such fraudulent system. But I want to seize this opportunity to tell everyone, our customers particularly, that our Q-Money service is very reliable and secure.
The Chief Executive Officer na QCell, Jayamani Katik, explained why QCell needs 035.
Why I say, 035, what does it mean? It's why do we launch this number? Because more and more Sierra Leoneans, more and more customers of us are joining the QCell network, and we feel that we need a new number range to cater to the various options and possibilities which our new customers are going to seek. What is a number? A number is basically an identity. It is because these days national identification number is based on your telephone number. Your healthcare is based on your telephone number. Your mobile money is based on your telephone number. Your family and relatives reach to you on telephone number. Everything revolves around the telephone number, and this particular identity is like your own personal identity. So a number is an identity for a person.
Jayamani Katik end up for encourage customer them say QCell ready for provide quality, reliable and affordable communication for Salone people them. For the Society for Radio Democracy, Mina Alfred Jana, the report.
The program na Good Morning Salone, they come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. As we mentioned, we headline stories them today. We talk to the Director General National Disaster Management Agency, we na John Vandy Rogers. We go give updates on the disaster preventions and incidents them we happen during this rainy season, especially from yesterday to today. For second data, I want to welcome Mr. Rogers na the program. Good morning and welcome to the program. Good morning, Salone.
Good morning, Musa. Good morning, 98.1. Good morning, people of Sierra Leone.
And this is the first time we host you, right? From with our appointed as Director General.
Absolutely.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
We'll come to you shortly. We'd expect to be joined at the studio by the communications officer for the Salone Metrology Agency, Success Ibrahim Said Kamara, and also a legal practitioner on the constitutional amendment. Well, still debates go continue in our parliament on the constitutional amendment. Quick update from what exactly happened yesterday as proceedings continue till 12 in the morning. Mastan Soare Binde in our parliament. Good morning, Mastan, and welcome to the program. Good morning, Salone.
Good morning, Radio Democracy. Good morning, Salone people.
Just a quick update before you left with the studio. How a bit like yesterday? What's in the latest on the constitutional amendments?
All right. So yesterday we reached our parliament 9 o'clock, and Speaker no Kanti by then 12. So we come in parliament. We begin for start, but later he said he gets meeting with the leadership of the EPC party and also the SLPP party. So then we go on that meeting day. So like over 2 hours, then do on that day. So then come back by 4 o'clock. We begin because presently within our committee stage and third reading of the Constitutional Amendments Bill 2025.
What's that adjournment date?
The city day.
Today the adjournment date. You think say from the discussions that the corridor the bill they pass today?
I'm not going to be 100% sure because we get they get areas them who say they make disagreements and agreements them because the like not to say not debate, but the way the conversation be the way yesterday, it seems like night debates they be do because then a community stage then be they try for read all witness some of the areas then where they agree, where they not agree, pull inputs. So now that stage they will do.
Okay, so we'll get a bit of specific. This is the second term now. Then you go to Parliament for the same issue. For yesterday in particular, what have been the focus area then we then deal with?
All right, so they deal with the do I for do with the research and nomination committee. Then talk on that day, and also do we get for do with independent candidates. they also engage on that. But they get some areas them where they be pin on, they will come back on them later.
From your observation, how you could describe the kind of debate we would get? You sense national interest or political party representation?
Well, I would say both, because they get areas they win at their interest. They get areas they win at the interest of the citizens there as well. But as the debate they carry on, we will continue to observe and know if really they're into political party there. So the which they do, for the interest of the people there, or not for the your interest. But hopefully, we expect they will pass on today, because today we can't see them now. We're going to parliament.
Now, we now go again at Parliament this morning, but you earlier in the opening say the Speaker being engaged the APC MPs. You get any idea as to what are some of the things they wouldn't talk behind the scene?
No, not a close the meeting. Let me get. But when they come back, you see the tension, especially from the APC party when they start the conversation. You see the tension, but the Speaker be able to draw their attention back and try for put them in order.
The Speaker been sent out to MPs then be able to come again and can continue the debates, and what have been the reason for that?
No, they're not. Waiting me find out that one party MP that we send we get for use word against Honorable Aminata. So the other one began for answering company, and I did the argument start.
Thank you very much, Master Answari. We hope for joining us again. Followers of Freedom Democracy King, stay tuned to we Facebook page and we social media handles them as we get for continue for reports on the constitutional amendments at the well of Parliament. And I want to welcome again John V. Rogers. Good morning and welcome again to Good Morning Salon.
Good morning, Musa. Good morning, 98.1.
What are the latest in the fight against the disaster, Salon, as it stands?
Thank you very much. We will divide this conversation into two.
Okay.
The first one, we will talk about the preparedness in terms of fighting against any flood occurrence in Sierra Leone. And the second one, a flood response. And are the things that we have over the past 48 hours since yesterday. Okay. Before now, of course, the common Sierra Leone say one of the commonest events we can normally get, we can really humble people there, na floods. Can normally occur in the rains. We all aware say we don't get climate change over time. Then this they get 6 months of rain and 6 months of dry. They don't change. Now the weather has become very erratic. Yesterday we seen a complete manifestation of how the weather done there. We find out say disaster management now a multifaceted engagement where we work with many other stakeholder institutions, both inside government and outside government. So in terms of preparedness, over time, one key area of your interest now for make sure say we're able to do effective coordination at the strategic level, at the operational level, and at the tactical level. At the strategic level, we make sure say we develop the plans, we will help, we for able to roll them out, and ensure say we will prevent the occurrence of disaster. If they do occur, we make sure say we get plans in place for make sure say we're able to mitigate them, so that the impact of the disaster then they not going to be seriously felt by the affected population. We don't over time generate two strategy documents. The first one, now the flood mitigation strategy, they use currently, and the second one, the flood mitigation preparedness and response plan. Then two documents very important because they bring on board both government institutions and non-governmental organizations. For the flood mitigation strategy, we make sure we're able to do comprehensive assessment of all the flashpoints, particularly inside Freetown, because we talk about Freetown in terms of flood, it really became very severe. And so what we do, we identify the flashpoint, we do some risk analysis, we do risk indexing, and make sure we're able to engage the communities. So within communities here, now low-lying communities, when you get too much rain in Freetown, when you get high runoff of water from the hills, they go straight into those communities. And 10 chances out of 1, they cause displacement. And that night happened yesterday.
Okay.
The other document we don't work on, now flood preparedness and response plan. If the flood occur, what NDMA go do together with other institutions across the country. The first 24 hours, we didn't occur. The second 48 hours. The third 72 hours, and going on. So you find out, say, what happened yesterday, the first thing we'll do now for make sure we begin saying early warning. Because we colleagues them, now the Met Agency, we work very close with them. All of what they do this season, we don't work very close with the Meteorological Agency in terms of telling us how the weather get for the etc. etc. They can speak more on that. Me business now for make sure say we talk upon the way how we don't prevent disaster and make sure say how we move for protect life and property over time.
We'll come back to you after this break. The program na Good Morning Salute they come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. In name na John Vandy Rogers, in the Director General na Salone Disaster Management Agency, and we don't be joined at the studio by the Head of Communications Office of the Sierra Leone Meteorological Agency, Success Ibrahim Ser Kamara. Good morning and welcome to the program Good Morning Salone.
Good morning. It's always a pleasure for you. The 98.1 platform.
Okay, continue for stay with you. They come to Una shortly.
Cecil, do you know any sharp user I go able get quality laptop or desktop computer for buy? When I go give me wahala like the last one?
Aisha, you see this Dell computer na me hand? It don't pass 8 years from where I begin use am. It no one day give me problem. Na Palestino International in shop, na 5 and 6 Gloucester Street, na they a buyer, not to copyright Palestino they sell, na original. You see this me plasma TV, this Samsung home theater, me standing fan and mobile phone. Every day when you see them, it's like a new one. They don't pass 8 years na me hand. Palestino don't open Palestino International Computer Shop na 3 Bojon Street Bow. Also you they get all kind computer for buy. For more, just call 076 56 5432 077 80 5898. Palestino International in Computer Shop, all things they for you.
Bloomberg Digital Banking don't come for we.
I said so. You look stressed so.
Na bank they won't go so.
Me sister, go digital.
Digital?
Yes, with Bloomberg Digital Banking. Just tap, click, swipe and send money, receive money, check your balance, pay your bills and get quick loans before Jacko Kotiai.
But Abula fly.
Well, bring your phone.
Not so easy and quick.
Yes, with Bloomberg Digital, you can bank with freedom anytime na the world. Your money is safe and secure. Also, you can do business and transfer money instantly by your currency across Africa. Quick one with Colats.
Wow! As from today, call me Isa to Bloomberg Digital. I dey go tell all me party them for join Bloomberg Digital Banking.
Go ahead and download our digital banking app from Google Play Store and Apple Store, or visit any of our branches for further details. For no more, you can visit our website bloombankafrica.com. Bloombank Africa. Let's make it happen.
Salone, they take action for every mama and every pikin. Together, we go reach zero. We all for take action. So no mama no go die where it give life. No pikin no go die from preventable sickness. No pikin no go left behind for take maclet. The race to zero, they on now.
But zero no go happen by chance. If you na mama or belle woman, take action. Go na clinic early. If you na papa, take action. Support mama, care you picking from maclet. If you na chief, take action. Encourage belle woman then for go hospital for the well body one. We all for take action for save the life of we woman and picking them. So join with today for take action for reach zero. This message they come out from the Ministry of Health together with the Ministry of Information and Civic Education.
The program, Good Morning Salone, they continue. Inside the program, they come back to with studio guest John Vandy Rogers, we are the Director General for the National Disaster Management Agency. Director General, we see yesterday August established itself very heavy na the country, the kind of way we get as way of update. Take me to waiting happen and possibly if we lost life and how to react.
Thank you very much. Yesterday we get heavy rains. That rains began inside the early hours of the night yesterday. It runs up to the whole day yesterday. We really get sustained rain for a number of hours, about 7 hours. And that rain, it began for Hamburg, some areas, especially in the western part of Freetown. The critical areas where the rain impact yesterday, the first part, now a place where they call Poto, at the back of Juba. That particular place, Now, a place where I understand it belongs to Ministry of Agriculture, now a marshy land, but over time, people that belong construct houses, non-permanent structures, semi-permanent structures, and some permanent structures over time. But you know, say marshy land, anytime when rain comes, the tendency for flooding occur is very high. That place, Ministry of Agriculture may use that for nursery, but they don't leave the place. And the National Protected Area Authority, we're responsible for the protection of wetland, we really get responsible for that particular area. But over time, people then go put houses there. And the number of houses yesterday were impacted where the flooding occurred in that particular area, about 300 houses, just as I mentioned. Permanent structures, non-permanent structures, and semi-permanent structures. We've been there for result to some temporary displacement of over many people. Then one area yesterday whose I would be really good for engage and make sure say we're able to provide guidance and direction for the affected population. At the outset of the event at that particular place, we've been experiencing 2 picking a day with the water go because the flood was really heavy. We search and rescue team began for go vigorously for search for them picking.
The flood na flash flood?
A flash floods. So we succeed for rescue them picking a day and reunite them with their family. But because the water the rain be really heavy, the other area will be another major flashpoint now around the Meshkem. Usai you get a building where they call Kailan Kotbari. Near that building there we get a major fence. That fence it collapse, and when it collapse, it fall upon Pambody where people then they sleep under. So we get fatalities. 3 people then died in that place. The first now be 5-year-old girl, the second the 5-year-old girl in Mama, and the granny. 3 people then died in that particular community. We therefore make sure we work with the community people and take the body to mortuary. But beyond that, when you can Femitona Drive, around 44 Femitona Drive, we'll begin another development. Who say that whole area, water begin for affect people then. 7 family heads are impacted. 37 people are impacted. Motoka then yesterday we packed because of the heaviness and the way how the water been moved. That water came the Motoka then go. So as we speak, so Motoka then will be trapped under the bridge yesterday. So it'll be a very serious event. That area where then they call Bonga Town, where they stretch from back of Freetown Supermarket, coming way down to the back of Cockery towards the Aberdeen Creek. Then another scene where the water been get for Hamburg people there. In that particular area, they began 18 boreholes when a community water put in the pamper for drink, all became contaminated, of course, because of the flood waters. And you find out, say, we began for lost 1 person. So, all in all, we talk about the losing of 4 lives yesterday because of that heavy flash floods. And at the end of the day, you find out, say, property, vehicles began for go away, and temporary displacement began for occur.
I must pause in this place as we talk now.
We will still try for make sure, say, we will forget figures, right? Of course, if I now say the rain be heavy yesterday, the whole of yesterday we will try for do critical data collection analysis. I cannot give it on the top of my head now because the rain will start being out up to 7 o'clock in the evening yesterday. Mr. said come back very late.
But roughly, how much do you look at?
We talk about close to 500 people then will be really good for this place.
From then different community that
Yes. But the thing here is that now temporary water we get for displace them, property they get for damage, but I sure say them we'll go back to their houses.
On pay attention to the underlying cause them, like thing that we really cause then floods there as soon and then community there, or on whether maybe get some similarities.
Different causes. Of course, number one, inside Freetown, we all know say we get bad interaction with the environment. People then they build houses in the wrong places, waterways. People that they construct houses in waterways. This place we are described so to the members of the public. Now a marshy land, now a land way, now be a nursery, we belong to the Ministry of Agriculture, where nobody is supposed to build houses in there. Over time, people then take advantage, they will put structures in there. So you find out, say, when you put houses in the wrong place, you find out, say, you will get serious challenge. The other part, people that don't use for this throw garbages into the storm drain channels. Definitely, if the gutters are blocked, the storm drain channels are blocked, we'll get for flooding. So these are the factors which actually lead to that particular situation yesterday. We'll get for see that high volume of water, we'll get for lead to that displacement and destruction of the property.
In 2025, we have been getting an interview to talk about how Nabidon they do a lot of massive education from different communities them. But all of them things they are so I believe the part of an education must have been highlighted as some of the things the way community for played in whole part. With what not happened so for UNA as an agency, is it a point of reaction for make sure say una continue for look out for new things that we don't happen una not be look out, una not be considered before?
Two things I want to make clear. Number one, the aspect of risk communication it evolve as we go along. Risk communication entails a lot of things in terms of how they live, in terms of how they do things, in terms of how they conduct themselves, etc., etc. So over time, the NDMA together with other institutions, we don't do serious communication engagement within communities. We don't do assessments across Freetown. We get over 62 disaster-prone communities, and we get volunteers inside those communities. Everything they for do, we don't share experience and knowledge with them. I can tell you it could have been worse yesterday if we would not be done to do risk communication, because that weather yesterday for that rain can 7 hours on a sustained basis in Freetown, and we will forget them, can resolve them. It's unfortunate we get 4 deaths, but the crux of the matter here is we're able to make effort for ensure we're able to reduce the number of deaths, because there are places yesterday outside the water it calm, the volume is heavy, and the impact upon communities. So we will not go relax. We will still continue to make sure we engage. All of what we do now at the studio, and part of them kind of risk communication, for let people them be aware. Because the first case in point is that your own human security lie inside your own corridor first before somebody else they come for help you. So we'd expect say them go for imbibe some of them, experiences them, the knowledge, for ensure say anytime when a disaster occur, therefore make sure say, or when we get them kind of inclement weather, therefore make sure say they're on a higher ground.
We'll come back to you, John V. Rogers, Director General Disaster Management Agency. We look at some of the areas we don't earmarked as a disaster-prone area where people for be careful during these rains. But we come to we other studio guest, Head of Communications Office of the Sierra Leone Meteorological Agency, Success Ibrahim Ser Kamara, and then they give updates on the weather forecast and waiting for be expected during this rainy season. Good morning once more. Welcome to the
program. Good morning, and always a pleasure.
What's in store from the Salone Meteorological Agency in terms of weather forecasts and what people expect in terms of rains?
Well, thank you so much. First of all, I will start with the daily weather forecast that we pulled yesterday. You know what? They listen to the head of the NDMA in the studios. All inside me are the feeling smiles. Smiles not because I'm really happy overboard, but the fact that the Sierra Leone Meteorological Agency National Seasonal Forecast for 2026 is being validated right here in the studios. How? All the things that we will talk about. Now they will see so. Now then they happen so. And all the information that we will give out. Some communities act on them, some communities will not act on them because also they follow the pattern of the disaster across the city. But however, yesterday at 5 o'clock, the Meteorological Agency released in daily weather forecast. What it say but today, this morning, 6:30 a.m. this morning to 12 p.m. What it's saying, even from Usaya, the commodity, don't be give validate. It say it is partly cloudy with high chance of rain with scattered thunderstorms. Later in the day to midday, the temperature will go from mild to hot, and then it's a moderate wind from northeast. So they experienced, from northwest, we experienced a northwesterly wind. They blow across Freetown this morning, while we get high chance of rain as we don't see from even yesterday evening. But however, in all of the analysis and publications for 2026, we will start from May this year. Few things so we say that indeed this year, just like 2022, 2023, 2024, there is a deficit in accumulative rainfall as well. But when we get to the height of the rainy season, which is the Jas period, the July, the August, the September, they can about the happen. So we talk about them and I be so. But what do we say? We said during the Jas period for 2026, Freetown alone, well, we get several areas. We get Karine and others. Like for instance, Karine, Cambia, Tonkolili, Moyamba, Bo and Kenima, we say we get up to 1,000 to 990 millimeters of rainfall. But the western area, in the western area, we say they get 2,090 millimeters of rainfall, which is a deficit compared to 30 years ago. Because whenever we publish the seasonal forecast, we then look at it 30 years media, 30 years ago. What may happen as far as weather business concerned? What happened in 2025? We match them against 2026 data. When we do that publication, this is what we got. So this is a Jas period. So why are they actually emphasizing on this Jas period? Now, for let people to also understand, because then questions they get for calm. Let me say they don't get for calm too much, but now I don't get too much. But we may say yes, cumulatively. May you go through June from May. What for experience the first drop of rainfall? I don't go around 6 or 8 districts in this country over the last 3 or 4 months. Don't go Falaba, don't go Moyamba, don't go Bo, Makeni, Kenima, don't go as far as Bonth as well. Also, we get with agreement weather station. In all of this, Mecca. Almost again, we see in Freetown. June come, almost again we see na Freetown. July na don so, almost again we see. But we talk say during the jazz period. Now this is the August with the experienced rains. But we also begin key recommendations. I always refer to Met Agency as an institution where they save lives. You know, alongside with we brother institution in the NDMA, where the technical pillar we the lead them. Say any information we give, we they bring key recommendations as what we are supposed to do. And for me, I always say, I remember the last time I did a 98.1 back, whenever I check as a weatherman from my weather institution, where me they see, we they play with the raw data, we they see what thing they happen, the information that way they come in. Me now a proponent, and still I want for still continue for talk to government. The national cleaning exercise is a useful tool, particularly for the western area.
Okay. Apart from the recommendations the Mona Digi, what's in our forecast for this August?
This August, we're then at the peak of the rains, which means we experience more rains. More rain in the system. Even this morning, don't greet me. Me no small kunkawaki they manage for wakawaka na this store. Now one got out of lefa. Usa I come out because I dey leave far. That they show say. Indeed, rain in the system. So the forecast clearly shows that during this particular period, we get for experience rain, normally above, especially for Freetown, and now we experience so. So rain then are still in the system. We still get for brace up, still no relent. You whether in your local community begin clean your gutter them because we pass around Freetown, we see the dirty where they come on the drainages them. And just my brother just they asked the head of NDMA where they say, waiting at some of the things them where really they say about the behavior of people. Indeed. With behavior, the way they interact with the environment is a key issue here. Because anytime, a couple of years ago, are they around? I always get for say this until one day I know say the Ministry of Works don't really do something about that issue. One day, I think it was 2024 rainy seasons, at the pass na Freetown, I pass across this place, PWD. Say PWD, they do a lot of woodwork and carpentry work. Are they around there, behind one small corner, they wait and then, now the rain, so they do some monitoring. And just where the rain they hit, then they pull that dust. Is it the dust? The chaff, then where they pull now that particular place that they dump right now that gutter behind them. Whenever you do that dirty they go down. And when you go there, go block drainages. And when you block away, you cannot get away for pass. It they create flash floods. For instance, even this particular place where Mr. Rogers they refer to, where as easy as far as that barrier, something barrier they make reference to. What will happen? Probably now water go down sit up a fence because water they fence way for pass. And when you not see it, they settle, it creates problem. So the forecast clearly shows say rain still in the system and Freetown will get for brace.
Compare June, July, and August, we get for see more rains.
Yeah, we get for more rains. More rains still in the system. As far as the Met Agency, the information we did before we see the experience more rains because, like I say, we are in the jazz period. We're at the peak of the rainy season for 2026.
Okay, continue for still success. Where we come back to, we can look at some of the risk areas and we. Maybe the disaster management agency for begin focus on as per on our forecast as a Met agency. The program they continue now. At time for we'll take break.
Tell me what did they stop nonsense. You dey look for side for keep you money and for make you business grow?
Well, now the term this so for keep you money with any community bank or financial services association with them they call FSA with the old side na salon because then a good party with good condition way easy for the ordinary man.
They go guide you fine one, but how for manage you money for change your life and the people them and your community. Remember say when you keep your money in a bank where they near you not just they keep money for bye but you they help your community for go before.
So waiting you the wait. You be businessman or farmer, petit together, so you art person, teacher or anybody keep your money in any community bank or FSA where they near you and see how your life go better.
Tell me what did they stop nonsense.
Now money they stop nonsense.
Nothing on the pressure me.
Hey! They don't do more. They don't do PC Foreign Exchange Bureau, the number one foreign exchange bureau in the country, they give all the customers them 1% cashback for every transaction where they make through Western Union, MoneyGram, or RIA. Not so nice K. PC Foreign Exchange Bureau don't 1% the game. So you will get from Bull, Paddy, or business partner where they send for you money through Western Union, MoneyGram, or RIA. run go na any PCN Son shop where they all about the country. For you where they free tongue, PCN Son shop they na 16 Godrich Road Lumley, 59 Wellington Street, 31 Guard Street, 19 Fobe Road, 10 and 53 Sani Abacha Street, 32A Wilkinson Road, 9 Kuto Road, and 24 City Road Porty. For Waterloo Famulem, within a 9A Liverpool Street, Waterloo. For Famulem where they upline, within a 76 Sky Corridor Road Corner, within a 5 Palmer Street Kabbalah, 54 Dambala Road Bo, within a number 4 Denby Street Kenema, 39 Robane Road Makeni, 137 Airport Ferry Road Lunge, Lagos Compound Kailaun, and 35 IDA Road, Gambia. Tell your neighbor say, PC Foreign Exchange Bureau, the 1% the game.
The program, Good Morning Salon, they continue, and inside the program, we come back to studio guests, and they come to the head of communication and the Meteorological Agency Success Kama. Again, I take you back to your opening statement. What you been give the updates about rain? Unlike many other districts, you make particular focus on Freetown, and you say over 2,000 millimeters of rain. Nine Freetown for experience. But again, if you look at the geographical nature of how then districts and the day and how people then build it, Freetown they more at risk. So the aspect of waiting they happen at the city, very, very important. But look at the areas of risk, because Freetown, you get side where they build uphill, you get side where they build Nawata, and some side and the soil texture is different. Some side the ground north south, some side the ground south, and other side and they because they build at the hill, risk they. Also on the side away the disaster management agency for pay attention to.
Well, I think across Freetown, from some of the research and some of the information that we did before, we got up to 72 or more disaster-prone areas. From the Aberdeen Creek to Loshaw, to Laka, to Hamilton, to the Bays, all of them side, and there plenty other areas in there. And also one other area where I think was it in 2022 or 2023 rainy season where it also blocked, where for the first time we see NDMA bring Caterpillar. I think that the Regents Junction. We will be there around where they construct that bridge. Me and you know, say that's why outside the policeman the team are down there in a bridge. Now big space 90 donks that side. You know why I don't block? Because of the activities the upper Regents. The residue, the sand where water they bring down in the block yonder. In 2023, it block. I did the way NDMA say, I still get a video of that particular operations that day with the hard staff. Where they begin for dig on yonder so that vehicles them. It passed up to 2 or more days. Will be the use up gun for Car Easter. In the evening, if you're in an office, so we don't see all of the things that need to happen. So we got to pay attention to yonder. We also got to pay attention to, I think, as far back as Ferry Junction, we know Mr. Rogers know what they talk about. Then another area that we will also look at. Even the Dundas Street, it can flood. We make even I think Rayanda will be with sister institution EPA over years. They don't move commodity because they side and they. I think over some years ago we did some vulnerability assessment and we get for distribute signposts now all vulnerable areas across the city, and that Dundas Street now be one, Krube now be one, Hamilton, Laka, Olosho, all the areas and they now be one.
Okay, success. Continue for still three. We'll start for look at message now for people that we don't they listen and they watch you now with different platform them. The first one they start for a look at they come from us friend Kamara on our Facebook page. It say the Sierra Meteorological Agency once had an app for daily weather forecast. However, it has not been active. Have you got a new app in store? Likewise, the website is not also detailed. Thanks.
We continue for look at messages. This one say, Mr. Rogers, what are some of the disaster-prone areas in the city, and what are you doing about it?
And this other one from Musa Samba on Radio Democracy Facebook page. They say, good morning, Radio Democracy. I want to commend the Director General, rest of the team of the National Disaster Management Agency for its prompt, professional, and life-saving work during the recent period of heavy rains and ongoing series of building collapse across the country. Sir, your team have demonstrated exemplary leadership in coordination, search and rescue, emergency sheltering, medical support, and rapid damage response, and the public communication across the country visible for the NDMA is fully appreciated.
This one from Super Caps for the Kabakaba on our Facebook page. It's a disaster prevention and management for better results revolves prevention and mitigation. Preparedness and response should be the key pillars in solving the problems.
And this other one from McTen and New Englandville, they say in the Potok community at Juba, more than 300 houses were completely flooded, destroyed properties and displacing hundreds of residents. Okay, this is a bit of waiting the update with Director General Bidegi.
Okay, more messages them inside the program Good Morning Salon. This one they come up from McTen. They say my advice to the public is to stay away from hillsides and steep slopes during heavy rainfall. Refrain from dumping refuges into the drains and waterways. Keep children away from flooded areas and monitor official weather forecast and emergency advisories.
And this other one from we Facebook page again, they come out from Tunde Scott. They say the SLPP government should do the needful and respect the views of Sierra Leonean. The PR system is most unpopular in that amendment, more so its extension to the presidency and 25% in district.
From the messages, then they will come to we studio guests them. We start with John Vandy Rogers for respond to some of the messages them we don't come inside so far.
Thank you very much. I appreciate everybody. We don't make comments and we don't raise concerns. The first one, disaster-prone areas around Freetown. My colleague Success Start for make mention about them when they reference some of the risk-prone communities. Make I just make an addition to what we don't make mention about. Some of the areas that were very critical for us as an agency at this particular point in time inside this season. One of them is Colette Town. The next is Bigwath, Kokube, Greybush, Kamayama, Levuma Beach, Jeremiah Street. That are the area Usai reference, Usai Ukeda Caterpillar. That particular street, year in year out to find out say what are they take over the whole street. This morning we are at the Kana studio. I make mention say I stop, make a see, and the real Kaya study even as I speak, go down a so we still all of us get a lot of work for be done at that particular.
Then I will start than the Regent.
By Regent, yes,
okay.
By Regent. We get some areas on Tonda Hill. Just last week, one rain occurred. One house it be washed away by the flood water, and 2 people then for die last week. So you find out say Tonda Hill equally become a flashpoint currently. Of course, Crew Bay, these are traditional places. Year in year out we would get events. Suzanne's Bay. Bungawa, Usada incident to take place yesterday, then another critical area, Usai. All of the areas and they under radar. That area around Donda Street, an area year in year out, they get a heavy volume of water with the generator in that particular place. Now that's the reason we work together with SLRA because the road building and construction equally get a role for play and make sure the gutters are cleared and make sure we work together, hands in glove with the community people. All of what they do, the community really forget a clear central role for able play because NDMA can go in, will come out like the flood mitigation. What they do, we can clear most of them gutters and but within the community they do for ensure they do sustainability of the clearance. What they do is another kettle of fish. So we get for work hands in glove for ensure we able for sustain what they do. If we able for clean some particular area, we don't do mitigation, we don't clear them places and we don't throw away the debris. Now we expect the community people make sure they protect what you don't do. So this is very important. Somebody is concerned about preparedness and response. Very clear. No two way about it. We get for make sure we prepare and make sure we prevent the disaster because there are two goals when you prepare. When you prepare, you prevent the occurrence of an event. When you prepare, you make sure they stand by. If any event occur, you can go for arrest and very easily and make sure the severity and occurrence will be too much upon the population. So that particular area is very clear. Response is very key. Me not pray for let disaster occur. We primarily go as an agency for prevent them. We primarily go for make sure we mitigate them. But sometimes when you prepare, you get for equally think about the occurrence of an event. So that at the end of the day, if you call, the measures we will apply for make sure you're able for activate response are in place. For example, the aspect of early warning. It's very key. No way, no the way you go manage disaster across all over the world with all the experience I get in the US, in England, etc. Early warning is very central. And the early warning we can normally do hands in glove together with other institutions. Two institutions are very key. In fact, that make over time we don't work with the World Bank for putting in place what they call flood risk mitigation strategy we will develop together with the Meteorological Agency and the National Water Mineral Resource Agency. These two institutions will work with them because anytime we rain occur, either surface water, there will be an increase in surface water or there will be an increase in underground water. And then when I went at the Met Agency, and therefore tell we say today we're going to forget inclement weather. From there, we at NDMB will develop an early warning. This early warning will generate an inside with National Situation Room. And we normally can communicate to the public on a particular GSM when a 1199, where it cuts across all other lines in this country. So if I now say over time, if an event occur, even like in middle night, you call 199, you will reach out to colleagues, they will respond to that particular number.
That's an emergency number for disaster?
Correct. Yes, correct. Now the emergency number is across Sierra Leone. You find out on Africell, you find out on QCell, you find out on Orange. We don't make sure say we don't work together with NATCA for ensuring that number is activated and it work. So
across
when it comes
all network,
across all the networks, sir. So you find out say when it comes to reaching out to the public, if there's a stress call, that stress call it comes through 1199, it enter our situation room, and we get colleagues then that phone it didn't at the hand 24/7. So one and then in fact when they go sleep and they lay the phone near the head so that when the call can automatically they can for respond. So that at the end of the day, we're able to attend to the interests of the people in there. At the same time, the NDM may get responsibility for a risk search and rescue operation. What does that mean? It means the aircraft will they can at this country for land and for takeoff. Why is the Met Agency the give forecast of how the weather get for day for let aircraft and land and get up? If we get any stress call from any aircraft within the aerodrome of Sierra Leone, and there's a problem, that problem I would make sure we address them. Inside the situation room, we get huge communication gadgets. We will talk to Robert Flight Information Region and Liberia, and at the same time we'll be able to communicate directly with the airport na Longi. So all of those structures are in place. I will make sure we're able for put in place measures for able for reduce the occurrence of disaster.
Okay, continue for stay with me inside the program. We'll come back. We'll look at other issues then, especially building collapse and the capacity of the disaster management agency for handle major disaster outbreak. Success messages then come for you. Can respond to them.
Yeah, thank you. Messages and the way come. Somebody did talk about. I think he say we been get app and then they happen in the the again and then also the website. Yes. I think about 4 or 5 years ago, SLMet we get app na Google Play Store. We na be the SLMet app with the support from the UNDP at that time through the Coastal Induce project to be able to put it up. But we be done there now in the process of replicating that particular app again, but mostly now on iOS. Say mostly now more of Apple phones instead of Android and they, but most people them. So because of that support, we don't actually doing it at that time. Maybe don't go down at that time. The agency also they contemplate what critical step we can take next for also get that app back. So yes, that particular app they no day up now as in day before, but the agency they strongly work on them. Somebody also make reference to we website. Interestingly, that they go just make a break this ice, although we got for Branca officially that over time SLMet through the Coastal Induce project we also get a functional website, but after the project then they also been somehow problematic. So over the last 7-8 months with we support office, meaning we member mother institution when the WMO central office in Kenya and Ethiopia actually come into Sierra Leone, come into the country. They will tune in for a period of time, and we don't put together a new website for the Sierra Leone Meteorological Agency where we just integrate the old one into one. But it's new, it's relatively new. We're done in a www.slmet.gov.sl. Then we host on Google iCloud hosting. It's hosted online. Now a website they go off, they not any server, but now online we actually able to put them. So yes, that website there, we still there about for populator more. You get information, but it's somehow limited, but we'll see the populator now going forward. And one good thing, I think as of 1st September 2026, we're going to begin to do daily weather forecast through that website now. That every day when the forecast goes up at 5, it will be also reflected on that website. The other operations and the audio honor as I speak.
Continue for stay with you. We'll come back to you with a look at how the weather forecast systems and the monitoring system they work, especially for critical areas them like the airports and the sea them. The program Good Morning Salute they continue. In name na Success Sir Kamara from the Meteorological Agency Sierra Leone. We'll go for this break. We'll continue the program Good Morning Salute.
Salon man, if we want make salon, we for change we attitude. Salon man, if we want make salon, we for change we attitude.
Famu dem, mete na for nothing. We all na mortal man and we get for life. So let we left Congo Sahel life, and for bad that we come small so if we sabi wasan, we go eat na big man dey pan. For each big man and I can done, no today all thing done. Na the tomorrow way you go get after, now where you big man and you get. So let we left Congo Sahel life, and for bad that we come in there. Salon man, if we want make salon, we for change the attitude. Salon man, if we want make salon, we for change the attitude. Salon man, if we want make salon, we for change the attitude. They do bad when they talk, you say how for you. Man they do bad when they talk, you say how for you. UF they do bad when they talk, you say how for you. Papa they do bad when they talk, you say how for you. How for you, and by that night when salon. Salon man, if we want make salon, we for change the attitude. Salon man, if we want make salon, we for change the attitude. Salon man, if we want make salon, we for change the attitude.
Yes, indeed, that's now song where Daddy Ramano do for winner the program. He call him Salon Man. The program Good Morning Salon, they continue. They come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. And inside the program, we still get we studio guest them. The program, Mr. Rogers, before we go for that break, you announced a number where somebody they call now for clarify. Is it now 911 or 199?
1199.
What 1199?
Correct.
Okay, 1199. The program Good Morning Salon, they continue to come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. When I continue for the day with we inside the program, would they come to una back? Would they continue for look at issues? We go say the Director General for the National Civil Registration Authority, Mohammed Masako, say the mobile registration center would open a Grafton Village and other side them now Western Rural Districts and for reduce the challenge where people don't get the national documents them from NCRE. He talked this one meeting with the Civil Registration Authority, all with chief and community people in Grafton Village, Western Rural District. For on this, we join Master Swari.
Some few weeks back, the Director General for the National Civil Registration Authority be hold one meeting with traditional authority them na Western area, and the reason of explain to them but their role as chief for support NCRA for CC people na different locality take the national identity card. During this meeting, one thing they be agree for na for make local authority them go back na the area where they serve as chief for mobilize people for register and take the national identity card and other documents them. For sake of this make, one chief na grafting community don hold one meeting with him people them. We in the talk, Chief Mohammed Kouma of Grafting Village describe the action wey NCRA take for move the office to Grafting Village and other community them na the western rural area for make people get national identity card.
Now this na big opportunity wey e kind of this community, and at one time we travel heads and call we to meet it to their people there. They say any community now try can organize with people then for this national ID card. So I go for that meeting there where I can announce them. I meet bad mommy, meet the others, the demand stand before them all. Actually, they not be believed, but me I get one thing in my life. You see anything where I hold, I don't want to say I see the ending. Anyhow it is there. So we dey on the preparation, they die made today, the people then say then they can. This is a benefit for all. This is not national ID card. I believe if you want to travel now this country, go any side, you don't get national ID card, you don't go no side. You want to get loan from the bank, you don't get national ID card, nothing. You want to go take money, now if you don't get national ID card, nothing. This is not big opportunity where you can at this community. They say that they can't meet you now. But I tell you one day where they can now, let me take you. This now a big information where they go now.
During this meeting, one stakeholder in a grafting community, Ali Kokofile, say the action with the Director General of NCRA take for move the office to the community shows say government wants people forget their national identity card, but also use the opportunity for make this appeal to DG and in team.
Not to just the mobile outlet of few days. We want make you think of getting a station in grafting, because grafting are the hub for Jue, Osotom, Mogeba, Motim, Regent. Grafting artists are the organ they can buy. I like the regions every day, man. I hope for all other communities around. We want also just quick one. We want the outlet maybe the grafting, whether NCRA for the national ID card. That is the political information also, and every other thing. You know, now they back to go take the ID card for ease that kind of tension, because people can really stress. For go, people don't make efforts for go Waterloo, some head office up to date to enable get the ID card because of accessibility. So one for me really make not to just this one, but more we get an outlet, and there's 4 outlets. Grafting overpopulated. I'm telling you, DG. Check the records, the census, even ECSA registration, all other things.
We in the talk, the Director General for the National Civil Registration Authority, Mohammed Masakwe, say this action come after which they agree to inside one meeting where they all with traditional leader them. So in say then decide for gonna grafting in other community them. Now the Western Rural District for fulfill President's bill and promise for CCA people get their national identity card.
So today we are here basically to advance our programs of outreach services to move our identity management and registration services to the doorstep of our people. We have been in discussion with the 16 tribal heads in Western who have been requesting, appealing for us to extend ID services to their people, their subjects in their communities. Realizing that assuages the burden that they will have to move from their communities to our offices, then we, noting also the directive we had from His Excellency to move our services to our people, we said to them, we'll let them organize the people in their communities. They will be there and start providing ID services for them. So today, basically, we are launching that service in grafting to cover Joy, Koso Town, Miami, and other communities around this vicinity in a way that the people will have IDs without having cause to go to our office in Waterloo, maybe, or to Kennedy Street along PC Road. So from here, they will apply for their IDs, and they will have their IDs there as well without moving to go anywhere outside this community.
Mohammed Masakwe also talked about how the process can go and self-respond to the appeal where community people make for CC, then get permanent office where will serve grafting in other community them.
I think as a government, that will increase uptake of the ID, where our people will be identified reliably and they will have no reason not to access opportunities that government and all the services that government other people provide, because they are all tied now to ID and the NI. We have said this will commence tomorrow in Anes. They have already provided the facility, this community hall here at Grafton. Our staff will be deployed here tomorrow. They will be here insofar as we have people who have not had IDs and present themselves for the IDs. We will be here. We also had the community elders making a case for us to have a permanent office in this community. So we told them we have considered, but I've asked them to help identify somewhere that will arrange to have as an office or as a center to provide services to our people in these communities around here.
Mohammed Masakwe and for call on people in Grafton village for make use of this opportunity for take the national identity card and save other documents them. Some of the community people wey be at this meeting promise for take the national identity card so that they go benefit from the thing them wey governments they do. With support from Ademi Jackson for the Society for Radio Democracy, Master Swari the report.
From that report today, now I'm trying to follow this into talk about.
Good morning again, Julia. I this week me heart's not glad at all. Because the people they expect in our society, na total man business then they pabola left them first. I say Edsa, where people buy the top up una just they chap and just like that, and I don't understand say una don't add pan the tariff but una not tell people. Somebody buy over 1 million top up, una go gam something like 110 or 150. I say waiting. How una dey operate na this country so bad? If una want fair money na people dey for suffer that say boy Edsa bonu chef bonu behave. Even though yes is behind them, at least the light business is better small bonu chef bonu to pass macbo. The country money una just dey no more for the ad things that for people mind. Even though I tell you we can not switch, but I see one video make her smile, it make me day. Why can tell you that you go on a boat man una not the big? It don't tell where God up on boat business. You see where God on top the boat na tomabo, go you na man mine. Now me they tell me man that if the mistake, if God dive inside water, pass on go catch and don't pepel. But anyway, go, you try this behind them. If not the same energy there where you get for the go work on the side, the outside, the minister, then you work. If I don't better. But it's like that this last day you want faint. This na last days. But, the man tell me say, now because of, where you not get time for go, now he make you able to done a host, now he make you go na to my bomb. But anyway, next time you not get time, but anyway, once you go work at it, board of pharmacy, board of pharmacy. I already said the person where they in charge of board of pharmacy. He don't reach retirement age, but he's still around in the office mine. They say you own all the office work, na to yourself for travel, na you for go to, na you not. It's the papi there, but anyway I can understand. Papa himself do like and nothing. So they go at anything go to Donna Corner because you don't reach the age mine. At the board of pharmacy, we are the pound you. At the bad situation, yeah, this country, yeah. People will know law. Now they say that they left them case give God. At the waiting. Who done me? When I go left me case give Jesus Christ or Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala like would you talk about go say tabi the Quran. Go get that in line. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ate bad situation unu chef bo unu wear coats. Unu they use bad word them. Just because of power. Now they tell me man they say, me man they say where they don't bell the also can go like pala. Man they get training past people in a bad situation. Bad situation? Na totally man businessman then the party world I want say if they mistake in go pull coat and pull stool. That's ati don't come back come mine ati mati ati two. It like say they don't dog food now what roti to that roti say ati pasu get for a large jam. Who's gonna bat it? Now make this country here whether they say if they give my position a problem. Look to yourself. Look the business where they happen. They say all that from above. Who's above? Is it bottom above or not down the above? But anyway, I think I don't say the election indefinite. I not say unu mosela sul back. In anything the thing, women they don't read lot, they don't read and pambu. They want implementer. Now so I see that me man uncle commander in the kind of so not the running nose. Say but do ya that boy in a comedy mind. That boy in a for election, that boy the Christ, not the running nose. Now send am to picking tell me say, no to me daddy the Christ was not the running nose. But Uncle Commander, be I take cat. Now to the whole day. Me na the honorable picky walkabout.
Well, from Walkabout, the program Good Morning Salon, they continue. They come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy, 98.1 FM. We still get we studio guest them inside the program. We get the Director General National Disaster Management Agency, John Vandy Rogers, and also the Director of Communication and Meteorology departments. We give the weather forecast and what thing they do about that. I come to John Vandy Rogers. We look at in the past we don't see building collapse, and this year we don't see a building collapse na Kisi Road. What in the NDMA they do about that, and some of the buildings them we not already done earmarked as danger where people fall left.
Okay, thank you very much. Make I give the public some statistical data about some of the buildings who don't collapse over the past recent months. Of course, we get a major building collapse. We're not being a 6-story building. We've been at Kisi Road, we fall, and that building being collapsed in the night. We people them they sleep, and a building will be under construction. The other building will collapse now inside Longe. There'll be another 3-story building. Instead of a collapse in the middle of the night, we be under construction. Very recently, some rain occur. We will get heavy rain. Thunder Hill, we will get one building will collapse. We result to the death of 2 young girls. So statistically, you find out say in every rainy season, based upon with data, we dey get building collapse. What NDMA don't do, we don't get a constructive engagement with a state institution. We get responsibility. First of all, with the work with Sierra Leone Institute of Engineers, we then profession are purely towards civil engineering, etc., for make sure say they're able for weigh in on quality of buildings, etc. We don't equally engage the Ministry of Works. We get responsibility for quality of buildings around the country. We don't work with the engineering regiment of the Republic of Sierra Leone Army and other institutions. We get responsibility, and equally so the Ministry of Lands. You find out say for let any house be constructed in an area, the Ministry of Lands now they give permits. And for let follow up day on them construction and they even the soil test, which side the building get for be erected, that soil test get for determine whether a 1-story building, a 2-story building, or a 3-story building. So you find out say all of those requirements are supposed to be in place. The Sierra Leone Institute of Engineers and architects, will they work with them, themselves, then they weigh in their experiences. What you want for see moving forward, for make sure say we forestall that kind of situation for let occur. Now for make sure say the authority way the institution and get it really get for weigh in on the way how people then do building and construction. Over time, we don't find out say number one, like for example, when we do an assessment after we the building collapse in Kisi Road, a few things that will come out clearly. The first one, poor materials. The second one, they don't allow the time in terms of cure, which is so cure, you don't put a particular floor. If it take 21 days for that particular floor, let it cure, let it dry up and become strong enough and make sure say you put another one. We observe say that particular time, after 15 days or so, then they begin for the raise another one. If you don't allow that curative time, that cure for take place, the building will become weak and at the end of the day, it will collapse. Number 3, the kind of material then they use. Who say you're supposed to use 5/8 iron rod? Then you go use 3/4, it's not going to be sustainable, it will fall. And some buildings and the foundation can only support 2 or 3 story building. When you stretch beyond limit, you find out say it go weak, at the end of the day it go collapse. So all of those ones, when you put them into a compendium, into a kind of analysis, you find out say need they for let the institution then we get responsibility for regulate the way how them be they come up, they in place. At the same time, then material when they import into the country, you get institution we get responsibility. Then self we don't tell them, we not take total responsibility. It's not NDMA that determines when they can whether a quality nail or not, where I they can whether it is quality or not. You get institution we get responsibility for that. So we don't work with all of them, and this now an alarm we don't raise with them, because when in the thick of the rains, then buildings there they become weak and they collapse. The ball game they come back to NDMA. We are always there for make sure say we clear the rubbish and make sure say we fight for rescue people their lives. That be the way we collapse na Kisi Road. We are there. We make sure say we work there for 4 days together with the Republic of Sierra Leone Army, together with the SLRA and other institutions, because now the road we get for block, the building fall, like 6-story building, it fall, it comes straight up on the road and it cover the road, and it results to the limitation of movement of commuters along that particular road. What you will do, we make sure say we get effective coordination. We work with the Sierra Leone Police, the Engineering Regiment of the Republic of Sierra Leone Armed Forces, SLRA, the Sierra Leone Red Cross Society. You know, all of those ones will all come together and we all weigh in upon that particular, because need be there for open that road. Okay. That is the heart way they enter into the heart of the city. Okay. So comprehensively we will work with the institution and make sure say we're able to prevent the occurrence of the thing. Again, it goes with change of behavior, it goes with knowledge management, and it goes with quality materials so then use for building.
A few messages them for response to this one. Say, if disaster prone areas are known, why are they occupied until strategy strikes? Government through the Disaster Management Agency has both the authority and responsibility to prevent unsafe settlements. Prevention should come before condolences, and action should come before endless radio discussions. The greatest disaster is ignoring tomorrow's warning. From Ibrahim Sisi, our Facebook page.
And this one now with Facebook page, they come up from Emmanuel Mashingbi Kamara. They say when the meteorological departments go begin at least two daily weather updates on we national radio and TV station, so that people go know what's in the happen.
This was a disaster response starts before the storm. Not every natural disaster can be prevented, but many lives can be saved through early warning, proper planning, and strict enforcement against building in known high-risk areas. Places like Regents, Kanigo, Krube, Kongo-Ata, and part of Lumley Creek have long shown the dangers. Government's duty is to act before tragedy, not after. Prevention will always save more lives than post-disaster discussions.
And this one from 077-981-981 line, they say, Mr. John Vandy, one survivor, don't go block Water Road na some part na the OS na number 2 community, and don't begin build OS na the Water Road. Where people talk, is saying a survivor, nobody no go do nothing, so waiting at the way out.
Well, you go respond to that messages them, especially this one where my colleague just read about a surveyor where they allege say the bill na waterway na number 2 beach number 2, and other messages them we don't come John Viru just before we come to success.
Thank you very much. Make us say clearly and loudly. Nobody know the way they are above law. Nobody know the way we use advantage of empower opposition for do things where we will put the lives of many people into the harm's way of disaster. That person where they do that, I make sure say after this studio engagement, I will do a follow-up on number 2 community and sure say we're able to stop harm and prevent harm. I don't get calls severally who side put and they try for do the wrong thing at the wrong places. And most cases we don't do a lot of stop work in recent times. And that stop work, we don't only stop the work, we will make sure say we follow up with action. Because when we go make sure say we do the stop work, we are there together with the law enforcement officers. The police normally can do with we, and we can normally don't discuss some of the issues here with Clara, with the National Security Office and the National Security Council coordinating group before ever we go into action. So that particular person, we in a number 2 community, we in a surveyor, if you say you get attachment, or if you say you are connected, if they do something where you go lead the lives of people into risk, we make sure say we engage you, and what they do so you get for stop them, because we get for Canada particular community. The second area the person get for is for disaster prone areas. Will they continue to do sustained engagement with those communities? Then get right for make sure they engage we get right for engage them. We get responsible towards those communities and ensure we give them the knowledge so that they can for protect life and property for themselves, and at the same time we get right for make sure we tell them they should not do a few things which will lead to the occurrence of disaster. The last one, I focus on prevention. Prevention very key. In all of these, prevention very key. For me, if you ask me, and if you ask the agency why they provide leadership, first of all, I follow prevent so that the disaster not occur. But in any case, if the disaster occur, then we will see responses when they take place.
Okay. We'll come back to you on the issue of relief. How are the supports people who can be affected by disaster, whether flash flood or fire incident? I count on you success. Messages them come for you. We can respond to them.
Yes, thank you so much. Somebody they make reference to 2 days forecast. I want to let the public know, say the agency, they do daily weather forecast. We can give you 2 days. We can give you 1 week. And we also they do seasonal forecast which span across 6 months. It depends on your request. So if anybody needs 2 days forecast, come to the meteorological agency and request that. Yes, go ahead.
It is say when we go begin work with media institution, then like a radio or television, because most of them are now on WhatsApp group and social media. So when we go begin for work with them, traditional media, then they for updates the public.
We don't work with traditional media. I joined the agency about 6-7 years ago, I think in 2020. The first thing what I do, become myself now also somebody with strong media background, having practiced for a decade. Colleagues are here at 98.1, to that effect. But again, when I appear at the agency about that time, the first thing we will be doing now for demystify, a big word, but I will make simple the work with meteorological agency they do. Me and say before this time, if a Met officer come on radio and talk to you, you're not going to understand what they say. Because simply embedded in more scientific terms and a more ambiguous ways than they do things because it's a scientific institution. But when I enter a Met, in 2020, the first thing I do now for help, convince the management for work with the media. The first thing we'll do, provide customized training on the, customized daily weather forecast for let the media understand. Even with the seasonal forecast, each succeeding year, the first point of contact can be the NDMA because now the technical pillar for disaster response and recovery. The second, now the media. So we work with the media, but waiting at the issues with working with the media over the years, where I also go make a case on 98.1 again this morning, is for media institutions that for come on board for help we for disseminate we weather forecast and we early warning information the whole they generate na the agency. Interestingly, over the years, the Met agency not get that kind of money. Because community radios, even outside Freetown, places like Jange Radio as far as Moyamba, Modka Radio in Moyamba, Messe Radio in Falaba, and of course other radios in the western area, including the 98.1, Sky Radio, Afri Radio, Capital Radio. If you follow Capital Radio, the meteorological agency daily weather forecast they give out on the hour throughout the day. But most community radios over time don't they say, but they don't fear. Will they do this? Will they do that? At least we say once una self come halfway. We say we don't hear. But for now, for say the agency has a standalone money for work with local media, and particularly community radios for disseminating information in all this. So what we also don't reach out? Do ya come on board? Sky Radio don't come on board. Afri Radio don't come on board. Capital Radio don't come on board. Modka, Messe, Jange, Kiss 104, they know they come on board as we go gradually. So we don't agree with their work on us. So we don't say, come on board and work with us. When we begin getting resources for some of the things, will be the first point of contact. So we don't work with community radios. As far as Bintumani Radio na Kabbalah and Voice of Kono as well na Kono, they work with we. But at a slow pace, in which the media, the local community radios they come on board. But we are still the
message direct to that on our for each.
Oh yes, because not only also depend on the media. Like I tell you,
Capital Radio they talk about na English, and we. The mass society in Salon.
I understand that, but also they go as far as the regions. I just tell you, say over the last couple of 2, 3, 6 weeks ago, we don't go right around this country as far as Falaba. You know what we go do? We go do what they call farmer field school. We are now using the agric extension officers for go into the farms and able for disseminate information then relating to the agricultural season. For instance, in the 2026 season forecast we'll pull now in May. We so get the onset of rainfall for the agricultural season. We say, for instance, we're going to forget late onset of rainfall na Cambia, meaning the side of the day, rain for late today, Karine, Koinadugu, Falaba, Bombali. But we get normal onset of rainfall, meaning rain start normally this year na places like Port Locust, Kolili, Kono, Bo, Kenima, Kaila, Moyamba, Bons, and Pujo, meaning rain start inside May. But Cambia, Karine, Koinadugu, Falaba, Bombali, rain actually not start day, it starts day late. So all of this information, this is now for the agricultural seasons, and we don't move out with this information to local farmers and for make them understand how the rainy season get for go for affect the
away
rainy
from
season.
the farmers, them other sector of society also need that weather forecast, especially the fishing community, now the sea, and also the airports. How effective una communication don't they to this sector and for tell them the weather forecast?
Thank you so much. In fact, the airports, for instance, the airports also they give the META and TAF. These are two sets of information they give for the landing and the taking off of airplanes. Interestingly, a lot of people then go want for understand say if Met agency not in an airport, plane not the landing, not the grab. Even the concluded ECOWAS summit will just happen. We give government of Sierra Leone 7 weeks forecast, a week forecast rather, for able for know how the patterns of the rain forecast. Because when plane they land, where they descend, with a measure between the ground and the plane, we go make, because you know say if you miss out, no problem. If you give below, no problem. So we effective. In fact, at the Lunge International Airport, Freetown International Airport, na Lunge, we know the lock office, na 24-hour service with the give. But again, we also they give information. Even they affect the energy, the water management institutions and the country Salwako as well. As part of key recommendations for 2026, we say waiting. We say we want for see Salwako because there's a cumulative. There's a deficit, meaning there's a sharp drop in rainfall for 2026. We say, may we also make sure so we intensify what we call rainfall harvesting. Do ya? And I don't see down regions with them over time. They don't they make them. I don't go there. I don't see them. They don't go as far as the other end, as far as towards the far west. So that we also get able for do rainfall harvesting. So that at least the small rain where we get na the system for the just period. Because now we don't experience rain. Then at the July, the August, particularly August, September, we're at the peak of the rainy season where we get more rains. But for August, when you ask particularly Musa at the beginning of the program, in August we get above average normal rainfall. So meaning the rain is still in the system.
The program Good Morning Salon they continue the council from the Society for Radio Democracy in the success Sir Kamara from the Salon Meteorological Agency. They na the program they give where the forecast about the rain. Apart from the rain, now we look at after August we go into September and October. Thunder, lightning and breeze. How Salon stand in the face of these weather conditions for this year?
Yeah, well, that's also now comes to what we call the risk, that the climatic risk. That in all of it we don't talk about now, there are risk. Me and you know say under meteorology or climatology, normally what we know tender for begin the sound better one inside October. But some aspects, some information will get makes it thunder don't begin to hit even before June or July. But going towards, October, we're going to forget prevalence of thunderstorms, of course. We're going to forget episodes of heavy rainfall and thunderstorms, of course, towards October. And then also, we're going to forget strong winds. We know say wind they blow towards September. But we're going to forget localized flooding and flash floods. And of course, NDMA don't actually validate that this morning. Like I say, we're going to forget uneven rainfall distribution as well. Because there's a deficit, the rain not too much this year. So some districts, then they get forget less rain. So other side, then they get forget more rain. But also, we're going to forget dry spell in several districts. What's in a dry spell? We always want to explain and say, inside the rainy season, rain for come. Anytime rain not come inside the rainy season, a dry spell. It will be long, it will be short. Meaning, rain go come today, it not come tomorrow, then a short dry spell. But it go come today, it not come tomorrow, it not come next tomorrow, it not come the other day, it come the other day. I think at the opening of the rainy season, places like Freetown experience than they. We also get higher than average temperature. Now rain don't they come inside June, July. Me and you know say the kind heat will be the field. All of these they validate waiting the meteorological agency put do for 2026. But also over flood risk in Freetown and coastal zones, especially the coastal areas. We make we say do ya. Mama and Papa where they listen to we this morning. If you didn't Loshowo, you didn't Hamilton, you didn't Laka, you didn't Konakidi, you didn't the other side the way you know say they near water, you sansan bag. Do ya begin to one now? Pack you sansan, pack and be you pambody. But again, we also get forgetting
why that?
Because for advanced countries like Europe, like in Holland, me and you know say statistics and information they exist. Say Holland they have some meters below sea level. Not so. What did they do? They get smart climate ways where they protect Holland, meaning they do sea dikes or sea walls. For advanced countries, if resources, we can do that in Aberdeen Creek. We can do an Oloshowo, where you do a demarcation and do sea walls. So therefore, you control the water not for camp. But for them people where they are the coastal zones inside Pambody, you don't get no way for control the water. The only way we don't see when a local and smart way they don't use over the years now for use as sandbag. Because me say I don't live in the Aberdeen Creek for years. In fact, I me go up. So I don't do all of them things and they pack you some sandbag, pack and be in Pambody for let you control the water. We also get forget strong wind prevalence, especially going towards September. But in all of this, we have key recommendations about what we are to do. And that is what we share with the NDMA in the first week of May for make them know. Because SLMA does not only bring these information, say, oh, there's going to be flash floods, there's going to be dry spell, there's going to be prevalence of strong winds and thunderstorms. There's also going to be other, maybe the outbreak of pest and disease. That we did not capture this year in the seasonal forecast because we did not see that. But in 2022, when we publish a national seasonal forecast, I think just after 1 week, now we hear about the outbreak of what? This disease local. There was a name of this disease among animals, the anthrax disease among animals. We make for the first time, me and say coffee now for Motaman, but they give goats, not for Kafriton, goats not for go Kabbalah, cow not for Koma Kabbalah can Kenima for the first time. But there are key recommendations to bring. We say one this year, what for strengthening the communications of this early warning information, we embedded this in our forecast. And I make you grateful to 98.1 for such a platform and all other media houses. We don't give you the platform over the years for able to reach more people just at one go. Also, we say make them avoid settlement in flood-prone areas. Somebody just send message where they say let we encourage people, especially in the coastal zones. For begin they make now. If you get that EFI TV in a bay, if you get that your other one now, do you begin can go to Onkuna now, but then may day until the rainy season able actually don't they go down. They also promote climate smart agriculture. Mark you, whenever we pull the information there, we target health, we target Ministry of Agriculture, especially the disease surveillance units of the Ministry of Agriculture, for also they on the lookout. But most importantly, we also prepare for thunderstorms and lightning during, and we know say thunderstorms and lightning get implication for telephone lines them. So ETSA and the Ministry of Energy also capture in all of this and enhance coordination and partnerships. That is why our relationship with the NDMA and all other players within the environment sector really key with oversight from the Ministry of Environment and Climate Change.
Thank you very much. We will continue for the Get You Success. Now the program for the GIWI update about the weather forecast as we done the DUAM. We come to other studio guest John Van de Rogers with a text message. This person we the raise concern say one surveyor bill na the waterway na number 2 community. They ask, he say, Mr. Rogers, what is your address so that we can lead you to the number 2 community, sir? It asks for the address of the National Disaster Management Agency, so them as community people will lead you to this place where there is concern about.
Thank you very much for that question with that person raised. It's an opportunity for me to inform the general public and the country say the National Disaster Management Agency before now will be in Aberdeen at 64 Sir Samuel Lewis Road. But just last week, fortunately, we don't move the headquarters of the NDMA from Sir Samuel Lewis Road in Aberdeen. We don't come now in a hill station within a full crescent. And anytime anybody, when a member of the public, you want to get access to we, can a hill station within a full crescent. Now they would don't now the headquarters now they coordinate activities of disaster.
So number 2 community committee they then lead you now to the place.
They're most welcome. I can equally give out me cell number or they call me on 1199. Then call anybody who can for help them for make sure they for come to you and okay for team up with them for do the needful.
When we start this interview, you say about 4 people die as of yesterday rain and also about roughly 500 displaced. And rain don't come for the entire night. Waiting at the relief package for people who can be affected by disaster?
A number of factors therefore drive that particular decision. Any disaster we will call, we make sure say we look at the event itself. Number 1, we look at the coverage area. Number 2, we look at the population sample size impacted by that particular event. And number 3, we look at the requirements we use for make sure say we meet the needs of the affected population. We think can drive that na data. We're not going no more for go respond to events like that. We can only make sure say we do the first critical assessment where they inform we about the size of the population impacted and instruments that they use. The first instrument we call the MIRA tool, multi-sectorial agency tool. The second instrument we call an ERA tool, the hazard identification risk assessment tool. Then 2 tools and how they use. And they use enhancing law together with the United Nations and other bodies inside the country. We all they go to field, we all they make sure say we go to the mission area, we go to the epicenter of every disaster we occur, and make sure say we're able to take data. That data will they take, it tell you clearly the number of population we impacted, and they tell you clearly.
Irrespective of the kind disaster we happen, whether not flood, fire, or whatever.
Yes. So they tell you clearly the number of people that are impacted. They tell you the categories of the population. For example, how many women there, how many men there, how many picking there, how many lactating mothers. Once we don't get access to that data, with the Canon and NDMA together with partners, we sit down, we do critical analysis of that data. We look at the requirement. Again, it depends upon the type of disaster. Very recently, we did a Kono district. Hosai, we did a Gandon Chiefdom, Nabane. Hosai, we get 900 people that will be impacted by a major windstorm disaster, where we had 179 houses that were devastated by that particular disaster. We make sure, say, for all who respond to that particular disaster, we look at the requirements. What have been the first requirement? We suggest we support the population with zinc, because this is rainy season. The weather condition will become very difficult.
Okay, the package can change.
It can change. It can vary according to the kind of disaster will occur. Like this one, we Musa they ask, like the one we happened yesterday. Musa, we don't do the analysis. You find out, say, we want to help the people then where there is need. Okay. Where there is need, we want to assist the people then. For example, with zinc. Usa building go down collapse, or Usa needed for give food, we will give food. Usa needed for give clothing, we give clothing, as the case may be.
Okay. Thank you for joining me today in this iteration of the program. We will continue to engage the National Disaster Management Agency as the rains then still continue for camp to get updates about the disaster prevention, as you don't highlight some of the areas them we are disaster prone, and also disaster response. Plenty thank you for joining me in this edition of the program. John Vandy Rogers, Director General, National Disaster Management Agency. And also we been there with the studio by Success Se Kamara inside the program in our head of communications office of the Sierra Leone Meteorological Agency. Plenty thank you for joining me in this edition of the program.
Thank you so much.
Okay, now this edition of the Good Morning Salon go Lefi for today. Plenty thank you to Sapti Kalon for producing the program with support from Kabia. Plenty thank you to DJ Clifford Waka for making us see live na Facebook, and Andy for making us see live na Facebook. So today, Musa Kamara say have a wonderful day. Bye bye.
And me, Jaffa Nance Davis, they say goodbye.